What's up, family? How you doing? My name is Joe and I am one half of Two Crazy Ketos. Today, I'm going to show you how you can make your own avocado oil mayonnaise for a fraction of the cost of this store-bought stuff, and it only takes a couple minutes. We'll get into it right after this. So if you're new to our channel, welcome. Like I said, my name is Joe and I'm one half of Two Crazy Ketos, and the other half is my wife Rachel, who's not with us today. Now on our channel, we do product reviews, we do recipe videos like we're gonna do today. We talk about different keto topics, and once a week we sit down on the couch for Keto on the Couch, where we just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives during the week. Now we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you're subscribed to our channel. And if you are, hit that little bell icon so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. We also have all kinds of social media. We have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, as well as a website, which is twocrazyketos.com. Now, Rachel and I love avocado oil mayonnaise. We really try to stay away from the traditional mayonnaises that you can buy in the stores because they're made with things like canola oil or sunflower oil or different types of vegetable oils. And those oils just really aren't good for us. Those trans fats can increase inflammation in your body, and they're just not really healthy. So whether you're keto or you're not keto, this is a great recipe for you because you're gonna start using a healthy oil to make your mayonnaise. Now you can go to the store and buy avocado oil mayonnaise, something like this Primal Kitchen, but it tends to be really expensive, running at about $10 a jar. And if you wanna make something like a blue cheese dressing, which is what I like to do, it can become very cost prohibitive. So today, I'm gonna show you how you can make your own avocado oil mayonnaise for just a couple of dollars, and it only takes 1 or 2 minutes. So here's what you're gonna need to do this. The first thing you're gonna need is 1 egg. Then you're gonna need some salt. You're gonna need some Dijon mustard or any kind of mustard. You can even use powdered mustard. You'll need some apple cider vinegar. You're gonna need some lemon juice. And then you're gonna need some avocado oil. Now you can also use olive oil, but the avocado oil has a much milder flavor, so you're better off with that. Then you're also going to need a mason jar or some kind of tall glass. And the final thing you're gonna need is an immersion blender. Now, if you don't have an immersion blender, that's okay. You can still make this recipe in a traditional blender. You just have to change one thing, and we'll get into that when we get to that step. So let me go ahead and plug this in. I'll set up my mason jar, and I'll show you exactly how to make this mayonnaise. So this recipe is so easy to make, it's almost foolproof. Honestly, I probably should have waited and had Rachel done this one for our series So Easy Even Rachel Could Cook It, but she wasn't around. She's probably gonna kill me for that when she sees this, but it's really easy to make this, and there's very little cleanup because we're gonna make it in the jar we stored in. So the first thing you need is a mason jar, and you need a wide mouth mason jar, one that can fit your immersion blender, kind of like this. Now, if you don't have one, that's okay. You can just use the container that your immersion blender came with or any like tall glass, so long as the immersion blender fits in it. You just don't wanna use a bowl so that you can do it in the right order. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our egg and we're gonna crack it right into the bottom of the jar, and we're gonna try to not break the yolk, or at least not disturb it. Then on top of that, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and we're gonna put 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, which I've already pre-mixed and put it in here. Now you can also just use 2 teaspoons of either one of these, it's up to you. I really like the apple cider vinegar in it. It gives it a nice taste, but I kind of like to also go along with that and give it a little bit of lemon juice. The whole point is you need some acid in here. So a total of 2 teaspoons of acid, whether it's 1 of each one or 2 of one of them. The next thing you're gonna need is just a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Now you can use any kind of mustard. I just like Dijon mustard. Now if you have powdered mustard, like mustard powder, you can also use that. And if you're gonna use powdered mustard, you're gonna use about 1/2 teaspoon of it. Then we're gonna put in just a little bit of salt. It's kind of to taste. I don't even measure it. Probably about 1/4 teaspoon or so. And the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pour our oil right in here, but what you wanna do is kind of like let it layer. You don't want it to like completely mix. So just kind of pour it in slowly and let it sit up on top of the eggs. And so this is what you should have here. See how the egg is sitting on the bottom, and then you can see how the lemon juice and the vinegar, and then the oil is on top. Now, like I said, you can do this in a traditional blender. What you're gonna do if you're using a traditional blender is you're gonna put the egg and your vinegar and your lemon juice, the mustard, into your blender. You're gonna blend that, and then at a low speed, you're gonna keep the blender going, and then you're gonna just drizzle the oil in, literally like drop by drop, until it starts to thicken up, and then you can start putting in a little bit more of a stream. But the key is doing it super, super slow. But if you have the immersion blender, this is absolutely the best way to do it. So now that we've done that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our immersion blender and we're just gonna kind of very gently put it into the bottom and try to trap the egg underneath and let it sit on the bottom, just like this. Then we're gonna turn it on, and we're not gonna move the immersion blender. We're just gonna let it sit there, and it's gonna start to emulsify. You can see how it's already starting to emulsify. Now we're gonna just turn it up just a little bit. And once it starts thickening up, what we're gonna do is just kind of pull it up just a little bit, but you don't wanna take it out of the liquid. You want to let the oil get pulled down into it. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back down and kind of like to bring some of the oil back down and bring it up again. And just very slowly up and down until you can get all that oil mixed in. Now what I'll do is I'll just turn it off, bring it up to let that oil fall down to the bottom, and then I'll turn it on, but make sure the blades are covered with the mayonnaise before you turn it back on. And that's it. You're all done. Now if you want, you can do it maybe one more time if there's any remaining oil on top. And we're done. Let me go ahead and grab a spatula and I'll show you this. We're just gonna get whatever's left underneath these. I don't wanna get rid of any of this good mayonnaise. So take a look at this mayonnaise. Look at that. Look at how thick that is. Look at that. Not even falling off of my spatula. Let's go ahead and try this. Wow. Wow. That is so creamy. It is so delicious. I think it's the best mayonnaise I've ever made. Probably the best mayonnaise I've ever had, period, but this one just came out absolutely perfect. If you have a friend or a family member who doesn't usually use like the avocado oil mayonnaises, or if they use like Hellmann's or one of those other ones, or maybe they've tried avocado oil mayonnaise and they didn't like it, try giving them this. I promise you, they won't even know the difference. They won't know that this is a homemade mayonnaise. It comes out so rich and creamy. And when you use like half lemon juice and half apple cider vinegar, it just gives it the perfect taste. Now, one thing about this, when you make it at your home, usually it's not gonna last quite as long as these store-bought ones because there's usually some preservatives in here. So the best thing to do is just put the lid on it, and it's gonna last in your refrigerator for about 7 to 10 days. So that's why this is the perfect size, because it's probably enough to last you those few days, and you don't have to deal with a big giant jar like this. And you can double it, triple it, whatever you want. If you even have the smaller pint-sized mason jars, this will make in there perfectly. I just don't have any that are the wide mouth on top. As far as nutrition, it's kind of hard to figure out how much it is per serving because you're gonna have to take everything out of the jar, measure out how much you have, and then divide it into servings. But this entire batch is 2,000 calories, it's 223 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, and 0.3 carbs for the whole batch. Now cost, this batch costs less than $2 to make. I think I paid $6 for this bottle of avocado oil, and there's 35 ounces in this, so you would get at least 4 batches of the mayonnaise out of it. I use Vital Farms eggs, so even at full price, that's 50 cents an egg. So we're less than $2 for this jar. And that's a lot cheaper than buying something like this Primal Kitchen. Now, Rachel and I still buy this Primal Kitchen once in a while just for convenience sake. You know, we don't feel like making up a batch, or like we only need a little bit, and this is gonna last a lot longer than this because of the preservatives they put in this. But anytime you wanna make like a chicken salad or like an egg salad, you know, maybe you wanna make a nice blue cheese dressing like we do that requires like mayonnaise, this is the way to go because it's much cheaper. Can you imagine like using a $10 jar of mayonnaise to make a batch of blue cheese dressing? That'd be kind of ridiculous. So that is our video for today. Hopefully I've helped you out. Hopefully I've helped you save just a little bit of money. Now the recipe for this will be on our website, and there'll be a link to that down in the description. If you like what you saw, do us a favor, hit the like button down below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel with the little bell icon check so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. And don't forget to check out all of our social media on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And until next time, bye.